Hello, hello, hello! Man, it's been a while since I've streamed, hasn't it? Welcome everyone. Welcome Director Barbarian, welcome Barbanato, welcome Banshee, welcome Jaden, welcome GTR Hereru. Welcome in, welcome in. It's been a while, hasn't it? But yeah, just... all I can ask you guys is, like, how have you guys been? Because, like, oh my god, my brain is just so fried from, like, the last couple of weeks. But yeah, how are you guys doing? Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you all so much. And, weather in Europe is horrible. Yeah, I could imagine. Excuse me, like, if I start sniffling, yeah, I just had my shower. I feel gross today. So, and yeah, don't question it. I just feel like more sniffly after a shower. It'll get better in a bit. But yeah, thank you all so much for the birthday wishes. But just don't worry about me. Yeah, today we're actually gonna try and do some custom building on stream. But this is not entirely my idea, because the idea spawned from the AX Oberon and AX Titania having actual guides on the Dengeki Hobby website. And thankfully, even after the Gundam Info rebrand, these things still stayed up. I'll do a short on what I mean in like a couple days maybe, I don't know. I really don't want to do more content creation at the moment because I'm just so drained. Like, I want to do something. Well, I should say the little part is coming tomorrow, but I need the rest. I genuinely need the rest. But that's what a chill stream is for. But yeah, thank you all so much for the birthday wishes. I'm fine about the Master Grade New Gunpla car mechanical clear for $27. Wow. How did you obtain one for $27? Like, how? But yeah, I'm doing okay. I've been working extra hours at work just to save up for classes. Oh, what a shame. But speaking of which, yeah, that's also why I've been, like, rather inactive and very tired at the same time, because I've been doing extra hours to save up for my dream car, and having that extra bit of money in the bank will absolutely help. And I've been trying to conserve my money, like, recently, and so far it's been going well until I got fined. But either way, I'm still on track. But anyways, let's actually begin the build with the AX, the AX Titania, because the AX overall, each of these will require a little bit of, like, there is a bit of a curveball with each of these. So I'm gonna start with the AX Titania, which will require excuse me, which will require the double X backpack. By the way, these two kits are my old copies. Actually, where's my glue? Where's my glue then? Seriously, I keep losing the glue when I put it away. Right. Yep, my little fox. Yeah, my little fox plus residing it. By the way, I bought this today at Suffolk Wildlife Trust, and it's pretty well made, honestly. Pretty well made, pretty cute. Actually, maybe I should use this as an analog for my own avatar. But anyways, also waiting on my MGEX Unicorn Gundam to arrive soon, so hopefully including the high grade Ghost Gundam. Hey, that'll be a build to enjoy. Much more interest in the MG Dwage. And good news, Master Grade Jinx is back in stock. That's good to know. But yeah, anyway. The AX Titania. Well, that went well. So the AX Titania will require... Did I glue this in place or something? Like, why is it so hard to remove? I must have glued this in place. Damn. Good afternoon, Central Edamame. Well, good evening for me. Right, already I've ran into a hurdle. Where's my knife? Oh. Though, to be honest, I'm not really that big a fan of master grades, so it really doesn't matter too much to me which one of them are being back in stock. Well, that worked. Have you picked up the new Kirorobo HG? No, I haven't. Tis but a scratch. Yeah, I'm gonna sterilize it and keep going. But yeah, the weather has been unbearable recently. We have been through a heat wave. And how many of you guys have seen the eclipse the other day? Like, unfortunately I was at work, so I couldn't see it. But in the middle of the heat wave, at least there was something for people to enjoy. I do want a Keroro kit, but I did get a pre-order on the Keroro Real Grade Mark II. It will be my first Real Grade kit. Ah! Real Grade Mark II. Not bad, not bad. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Some say that it's one of the most stable old Real Grades. So, honestly, I am curious myself. High Grade Gundam Gushin is back in stock. Maybe I'll buy it. Sure, go ahead. Nothing's stopping you. But yeah, finally we got the backpack off. Gee. And according to the instructions, yeah, these joints will be cleaned and fortified whenever I actually get to work on them, like in the paint. But for today, the goal is to at least get the bodies ready. I'm guessing you're working on a custom here, yeah? Yeah. And again, like I mentioned in the beginning, this custom build is not my own idea. This is just replicating a design, well, two designs, from Build Fighter's Amazing Ready. And thankfully, excuse me, thankfully, Dengeki Hobby actually have guides on how to build them, because it's relatively straightforward compared to all the other designs like the Clanche Asta, or the Diadaga, or any of the Build Fighters designs that you can imagine. So you don't need much scratch building, you don't need much modifications, you don't need much of anything. Okay, so we need this, Double X's head, the Air Master's arms and central mass, and apparently the Double X's side skirts. That's interesting. Excuse me. Nice. It's nice to use leftover parts for custom build. I want to work on a custom build one day, and I have a few ideas in mind. I mean, sure, shoot for it. Shoot for it. Go ahead. Like, that's the whole thing about this like stream, is to try and test out this idea of doing like a custom build stream, and hopefully it'll land. And what else do I need again? I need the Double X's legs, and not the feet. So the feet from the ball joint, apparently. Right. Because the Gushin looks like a decent high-grade Iron Dolphins kit. Yeah, it does. I really want to give it the justice it deserves, because like review from the good old days really didn't work out. But, like I said, I'm saving for a car, so I don't have that much disposable income to just throw at random ideas and hope they work. Man, all the Build Fighters side stories sound so much better than what we got, lol. Yeah, well, especially when Tatsuya Yuki is involved. Like, I've read through the entirety of Build Fighters Amazing, like all 3 titles, and honestly, we should have gotten that for the Build Fighters anime. Not to say that what we got was bad, because honestly, it was too good for its own good, but just the insanity of the Build Fighters mangas, man. Are you gonna review the MGSD Freedom? No, I'm not. I'm not the least bit interested. And the only reason I got the what is it called? The Master Grade SD Barbatos was only because I just wanted to pay off like a piece of fan art. It's not really that deep. But it is in a sort of good kit, say for the arms being, well, the biceps specifically being rather loose. So MGSD, like my interest in MGSDs hasn't increased over the years, unfortunately. So maybe I won't be reviewing the Freedom. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah, this has been glued in. Oh my god. What have I been doing in the past? Excuse me. But more than anything, this is just an excuse for me to obtain a duplicate copy of the 2 kits. Right. I think starting with the 13-minute label series makes for an easy transition into custom builds. Indeed, because they are literally tailored for it. Right, so I think we have everything we need at this moment. Yep, that's all for the AX Titania. So the first step is to selectively slice off like certain sections, like a slice off the whiskers and shorten the V-fin to an extent. Now that is a rather risky step, because first of all, I don't want to do it on camera just for precision's sake. And second of all, I don't have a duplicate double X head that I can use unless, like, if anything messes up. And third of all, because the V-fin doesn't have any markings. Actually, I think it would be a good idea to bring out a marker. Just any old marker. And create a reference point that is parallel. And by the way, I am gonna be using this stream as like... Oh my god, I haven't changed my expression. Oh my god, I've been angry all this time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's the detriment of... Wait, no, give me a sec. Actually, let me try pushing down these windows, because I want to read chat. Hey, what? And since I only need to focus on one step at a time, I don't really need the instructions to be in the half screen. Let's see. So, instructions up there. OBS down there. That wouldn't help, but... that doesn't help much. Huh. I just want a way to keep track of my expressions, that's all. I have a better idea. Sorry, guys. So instructions up there. Chat down there. OBS on the left. Yep, that'll do it. That will do. Pop the chat out. Actually put it down in the right corner. There we go. Now I can finally read chat. Anyways. Currently visiting my grandpa right now. I'm driving back with my dad. And when I'm home, I'm planning to top coat my red Gundam. Ah, that's nice. This is the second stream I've watched ever since the build for the real grade Wing Zero. Ah, not bad. Excuse me. But yeah, thank you all so much for the birthday wishes. Thank you all so much. Thank you. You being angry at them cutting the V fins be funny. Thank you all so much for the birthday wishes, guys. But at the moment, I'll need a head reference for the Titania. Okay, so according to that, the whiskers should be cut to the point and sanded down so that the top panel will be flush against the rest of the surface detail. That is gonna suck if I mess up. Because I think this is one piece. Yep, that's one piece. Actually, let me just... I mean, cutting the whiskers is easy. I'm gonna be using, hopefully, just using the stream footage for the dedicated video I'm doing for these. Because I can't be bothered to actually... I'm gonna cut it off screen. But just know that I'm gonna be cutting these whiskers of the mask. But yeah, I can't be bothered to stop the stream, like, momentarily just to document stuff. If there's anything I do off stream, then I'll probably document it separately, but at least for the dedicated showcase video, I am not gonna be I'm not gonna be doing any extra footage. I mean, that looks quite flush already. Look at that. Looks like a proto build strike head, if you ask me. Which is pretty good. Actually, it now that I look at it on camera, it has a really uncanny resemblance to the build strike with the whiskers off. That's cursed. And what is it? Have an amazing birthday. Hey, thank you, Reiji. Thank you. So what's the custom being built with the Airmaster and DX? JX Demon, these are the AX Oberon and AX Titania from Gundam Build Fighters Amazing Ready. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, this is not an original custom build. I'm just replicating the two designs based on the instructions that Dengeki Hobby provided. So what I'm gonna have to do now is to mark the V-fin and how much I need of it, make sure my marking is symmetrical, and then just slice it along there. Which is gonna be a massive pain. Good thing about the Tekadon set for custom building is one of the ideas I have, which is a weird one, is combining the flower roast with the F91. I hope your birthday is going well today. Thank you. Oh, they need to be parallel to the edge of the antenna, which is gonna be a bit hard to do. Actually, I've been using that marker for like a couple years at this point. Excuse me for the sniffs, I just got out of the shower. And how much do I need? So I have a weird way of doing measurements. But the slant should be parallel to the edge, and midway up the center two fins. Sorry guys, this will require extreme precision. Bless ya. What are we making? Jury, we're making the AX Oberon and AX Titania from the manga Gundam Build Fighters Amazing Ready. And right now, I'm on the first step described by Dengeki Hobby by chopping off the whiskers of the double X. And actually having it upside down just really doesn't work for me. Not when I'm trying to mark stuff. Right, halfway up. And parallel. So I'm basically marking the area. Oh, that doesn't look symmetrical already. I'm basically marking the area that I need to slice off. And this is like that, like if you cut, like adjusting the legs of a chair. Like, I'm sorry, I need to do this off screen. I just can't manage. I need a ruler. I actually can't. I need a ruler. Like, this step is already stressing me out, and what the heck am I doing? Right. So according to the ruler, it's according to the ruler, it's alright. But like, you know when you try to actually handcraft a chair and you couldn't get the legs to be the same length? And that's when you start just slicing the other, sawing off the extensions for the other legs. That looks a bit short. And you can still never get them to be like the correct length. You guys know what I'm saying? But from the looks of things, I actually managed to do it. Ish. Because, yeah. Yep. Yep, its left side is longer than the right. That should be better. Yep, that should be better. I'll settle with this for now. And perhaps I'm trying to get my thoughts together. Since it's a birthday stream, I want to ask, what did you take from the last year and what do you plan for in the next year? Or do you mean in general, Jury? Because I've been in my current position, my current job, since last year, where I really wasn't fighting for anything. But now I have a dream car that I'm saving for. And I've been harping on about this for like the last couple weeks at least. So, sort of strip the markings and see. That should be alright, but if it bugs me off stream, I'm just gonna continue modding it until it feels right. But for now, I think I'm gonna leave it be, otherwise the stream cannot continue. But at the moment, yeah, saving up for the dream car and the other life goals I really want to put on hold, because like all I am working towards is that one car, a Honda Civic Type R FK8, which costs around £25,000. Yes, I know I shouldn't be blowing my load like that, but mate, it costs to be a petrol head, and I feel like my current car is underpowered anyway, so Excuse me. Now that I have the ability to do so, might as well change it. Okay. Hello, Protostar. Hello. Currently working on a Seraphy 2. Nice Mega Gunpla. What I usually do is cut it a little bit off. A little bit too much. I will slightly cut it down or sand it down a little bit. Yeah. That's what I'm planning to do with this. So, it looks fine now. No matter in which orientation I look at it. But, if it bugs me off stream, I'm gonna continue adjusting it. Disabled Gundam, yeah. What do you think of my idea? Because my idea is I broke the small ball joint for the railgun on the Rising. If I fail to repair, I might make it a custom. That's good. Sure do, take your time, MJ. Yep. You can do it. I will satisfy you. Yep. Okay. I see the marks on them now. With the head given, can help DM photo later. Nah, no worries. But custom making one of the 1-to-100 customized Aerials Gundams, Legend Chaos Savior and Akatsuki, and I think I'll use the the wings of my Master Grade Wing Fenice Alba. That sounds like a decent idea. You meant the Bugatti Veyron? Really? No, I don't want the Bugatti Veyron. Like, that's the thing about me when it comes to supercars, is that I really don't like them anymore. Because, yes, they have the performance, but they're impractical. They have no boot space. Okay, so, next step is to... Well, this is easy. So, basically, wherever this mark is, I'll have to slice that off. And in fact, I think I may have the perfect tools for that. This is what Lord Type recommended me to use when I was working on my H1 Razor, and I didn't find them until after the fact. Here we go. These are the custom Hasegawa saws, and until I used them on the Hyper Zeta Gundam Hono, I couldn't believe how good these things are. Recently I tried to paint and panel line my model kits and actually turned out pretty good. Yeah, so long as it looks good, so long as you're satisfied with the results, then all is well. So, just saw it along this line. And it's funny how, like, a tiny serrate, like a blade with tiny serrations, if you can see that. It's not focusing. Is it focusing? I don't think so. But a blade with tiny serrations like that could actually cut through plastics relatively easily. Yeah, but in terms of panel lining and painting, just practice more. Practice makes perfect. Of course, I understand that it is a relatively expensive endeavor if you want to consistently paint and panel line your kits. But more skills in the arsenal couldn't hurt. Now we get to the hard part. The camera isn't focusing. Just saw this off. Yep, I will mind my fingers. Don't worry about that. There we go. And buff it out a little bit. Buff the cut out a little bit. And yes, I am getting very hot. I have to close my windows because unfortunately it is still summer. And because UK properties retain heat far better than anywhere else in the world, apart from any place that's further north, that I'm starting to boil. And what is it? I don't need this cap because it will be covered over anyway. The microplastic is a concern. Yes, indeed. So, micro polystyrene plastics, just wear a face mask. That'll do. That will do. You like squash? Ah, okay. But in essence, the idea is... Let me remove the wings and the satellite cannons. Is to attach the backpack onto the baskets like that. And Dengeki Hobby actually recommended 2 ways of approaching this. So either... and I do actually have a backup back skirt for this. So either I trace the area of the backpack. Of course, I need to slice the pegs off first. I trace the backpack of the area and slice the rest of the skirt, or just stick it on. I want to do the risky part. I want to do it in the risky method because potentially I could get a flusher result, and if all else fails, I have a backup, so I can do it the easy way. So let's give that a go, shall we? What are we building? The AX Oberon and AX Titania from Gundam Build Fighters Amazing Ready. Hey Addy Cox, welcome in. Still 28 degrees in my apartment, 11 a.m. 11 p.m. Sorry. Yeah, Big Daddy and Protostar, we are building the AX Oberon and AX Titania. Looked at the suits and the AX Oberon looks easy and the wings are cool. AX Titania looks tough. Both of them have their challenges based on the instructions, but anyways, we shall see. And to be honest, I have no faith of myself finishing the entire thing today. But I still just call it the Midsummer Night's Dream, just to fit the theme. And by the way, in regards to streaming, I actually have a brainwave regarding that. This is not gonna work. Okay. Let me just straighten that out. So what I need to probably do is mark that down and start slicing, I suppose. And I will have to probably slice through this part with the saw just to remove it. Currently finding all the 3 Jinxes, so I can do Patrick Colored Jinx 4, ESF Jinx 4, and a mass production Jinx 4 for the Core Fighter add-on 3D print. Or save it maybe for the Ogre Colored Jinx 4 one day. Oh my god, I don't want to pin a comment. Stop it. And if you hear like noises in the background, first of all, I have my fan on full, and for some reason my mom is chopping something downstairs, mincing her own meats or something. And I don't mean that in a dirty way. Yes, doing this with the God Hand isn't a good idea. I'll just start the incisions with the God Hand, and then slowly complete it with the with something else. Maybe I can slowly complete it with the saws. Who knows? I have no idea how to approach that. Like genuinely. Granted, I know I need to slice the I need to separate the bottom part from the skirt. Sorry guys. I need to separate the bottom from the skirts. Yikes. I hadn't considered that. But if I wanted to do it the easy way, I could easily just glue this on and all will be fine. Even with the incisions made. Although I do want that flusher fit though, that's the thing. I have no idea. And I wish I have a thinking emoji right now, but I don't know how much money I have to spare to commission Chikatori to make more expressions. What kit do you want to review, by the way? A lot of kits. I'm not going to reveal my plans, but the next one is also from Build Fighters. In my country, there's no paint protector, at least where I buy my kits. Ah, no. Air conditioning isn't a thing here. Yeah. Excuse me. I used to modify Lego pieces by using a butter knife to saw through them. Hopefully you're not using that knife for spreads then. Hey Midu. Today I have primed a high-grade far act, and I only touched one piece before it was dry. Somehow it was more frustrating than when I dropped all of my parts a few months back. So priming the far act was more frustrating for you. Oh, this is gonna be tricky. Say something when you work. You need something playing in the background as a kind of background white noise I do. Oh, you're asking me? No, not necessarily. Well, my fan is enough white noise as it is. My fan is enough white noise as it is, and when I'm working, especially when I need to think about what I'm working on, I really hate it when something plays in the background. Like, that's the whole reason why I don't like the music at work. Not that because the music is bad, a lot of it just isn't to my taste, like Muse and whatnot. And I know you guys will probably have my head for it. How the hell am I supposed to approach this? What do the photos say? Yeah, it's just slice off the thin... Oh my god, that's gonna be tough. Because I don't want to slice the whole skirt off. Actually, I have an idea. I'll just slice off here. I'll just slice off this bottom layer and hopefully that will work. But it's like, I don't want loud music to be playing in my ear whenever I'm working on something that I need to think about. And no matter what you do, no matter what you play, if it's annoying me, then I really wouldn't like it. I like how little the DOMs changed since its design in the first show. Are you opening up the conversation to the G-Quux version? Because yes, I agree. I need to get the saw in there somehow without actually cutting through the skirt itself. I really should have a thinking emoji so that I can be in a thinking pose all the time. But yeah, let me actually remove my little friend here. I don't want him to be covered in just microplastics. Oh, yeah, unfortunately it's summer, so the moths are still out and about. And with strong lights for the stream, it's just gonna be a moth party all over again. There really is no leverage unless I just, yep. I'll just incrementally go through it and just probably clean it off. Actually, the straight one would probably not do the trick as well as the crescent one. Sadly, I have to go to work. I hope the custom build goes well. Have a wonderful birthday, MJ, and see you next time you do a stream. Thank you, Jaden, for popping by. I built the high-grade G-Quest and Demion unit, and I hate the decals. I wouldn't blame ya. I got 2 stimulation going. I got Demon Slayer playing on my TV and MJ on the phone. Aww. But to be fair, because I need to be locked in this stream, I really don't really have much to say. If it were a usual build stream, then I can probably just turn half my brain off and chat with you guys a lot. But for this one, I really need to lock in. But thank you, Matter, for the birthday wishes. Thank you so much. Yep, the crescent one has more power. It's just that there's a lot to slice through. But actually, having sliced that block, I just noticed that that isn't necessarily the good idea. Crap. Yeah, because that block is completely intact. And that's where I need to attach the backpack. Oh well. That would have been a far better idea, wouldn't it? Just cut through the damn thing. Like, yeah, I'm cutting it along the edges anyway, and I need to get rid of that section, so... Oh, that would have been a far better idea than whatever overcomplicated things I want to do. Yeah, make that incision, and then the last bit. Which kit are you building here? The AX Oberon and AX Titania from Build Fighters Amazing Ready. But anyways, I think I can use putty or plastic cement to fill that incision in. I really hope for a real grade dom in the future. Yeah, I think real grade is past putting out grunts at this point. And yeah, where is the crescent blade? Well, like the voices in the abyss, you can acknowledge if you want. Okay, so I at least have a little bit of an incision here, so I could just use that as leverage and slice into this. I can easily remove like any section that I didn't cut. But at least at this rate I can cleave through in the middle, remove that panel, clean up any excess that I didn't cut, and move on. Happy birthday. Hey, Gallivant Works. Thank you. I usually only watch your review videos. Didn't know you stream as well. I really like your content. Oh, thank you, Kath. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't do streams all that regularly. I did try like streaming like weekly in the beginning of the year, but that really didn't work out for various reasons. But now I really want to commit to like a different stream schedule in which I actually stream twice every 6 weeks. That's because I have some Saturdays off every 6 weeks, so that I can at least stream like whenever traffic is high, and I can work around my schedule. I know I'm being weird with my English because I am losing my mind. So that I can work around my my shift pattern and actually get to be with you guys for a bit, like on a semi-regular basis. Like, it's not perfect. It's not gonna be perfect unless I switch jobs or ask for a different rota. But at the very least, I can interact with you guys more. There we go. That's far, but that's a little bit better. And just clean up the excess. How does the backpack fit? Fits far better than if I hadn't cut it. So there we go. There's the backpack that's going to be mounted in the back soon. Hey MJ, how are you? Hey Ren, welcome in. I'm alright. I want a real grade DO. Hey Dat Cat, welcome in. Okay, so that's gonna work. And here it is from the front. It's not the best, it's not the most refined work, but it is getting there nonetheless. Are you making an Airmaster custom? No, it's this one. We're currently working on is the AX Titania from Bullfighter's Amazing Ready. Let me actually check. Let me actually check to see that the color scheme. Yep. So I couldn't stick the backpack onto the back skirt until I get it painted, because I think the back skirt itself is white, while the backpack is black or sort of dark gray. I actually couldn't quite tell, to be honest. I actually couldn't quite tell. Give me more shots, please. And no, I don't mean the drunken kind. See, because the backpack is so tucked in and always obscured by the nose cone, I really don't know which direction it's going in. I really hope that there are photos of its transformed state. Yes, because this did keep the alt mode feature. And because it doesn't extend its nose cone, I still couldn't quite tell. How fantastic! I'll just look for photos in the manga and I'll stick it on with something temporary at the moment. I missed the build series, that was funnier times. Okay, I'm kinda confused. What are you building? The AX Titania from Gundam Bullfighter's Amazing Ready. It's from a manga that's about Meijin Kawaguchi. And if you haven't read it, somehow, someway, just do it. It's peak. Okay, so let me just put that in. Yeah, slightly muddy because I fidget with it a lot. And just stick it on for now. I'm not gonna put the weapons on yet, just to not weigh down the blue tack, but at least this proof of concept actually works. So I'm actually gonna go and find out after stream what color the back skirt is, if at all possible. But in any case, because the Airmaster's front and back skirts are the same color, I plan to keep that the same color. Just put it in a white primer and be done with it. Okay, so that's one of the most trickiest steps that are done. Good. So where's the head? So at the moment we have both the head and the modified back skirt. And by the way, it does use like one color for the V-fin. Okay, what's next? The next step, and actually one of the last major steps of the AX Titania, is to slice off the sides of the feet right here. Slice off the sides until it is flush with the polycap socket. So leave the back, leave the heels while slicing off the sides, which is fairly easy to do if I have the clearance for it. No, actually, don't slice it until it's flush with the polycap. Slice it until it is flush with the first ridge or whatever. No, I'm trying to say. Right, make sure that's aligned. I don't want that to come off. I think, where does the heel part start? Right here. And I can buff it out in a bit. Sorry, I'm missing a lot of chat. Yo, what's up, dude? How goes the stream? Juggling watching you, cooking steak and building a high grade one. Don't put plastics near a fire. My God. And oh, and happy birthday. Thank you, Fruit. Been a while since you streamed. Happy birthday, by the way. Thank you, Here I F. Thank you. Personally, I like the Build Fighters. I like Build Fighters Hono and made a custom based on the flag flare. I really want to see it. The flag flare, one of the best flag designs out there. Contest me on that. Because the flag flare is mostly based on Graham Acres Union flag, but it also has some brave parts in it, the true GN flags parts. Yep, I think that will do. All I need to do is to buff out the cuts, and that should probably do. Any refinements I need to do, I'm gonna do it off stream. And of course that piece will need to be glued, because this is annoying. By the way, if you guys weren't here in the beginning of the stream, these two kits are the copies from when they came out. So they've been with me since my early days in gunpla. So that's one of the feet. And if they appear to fall apart very easily, that's because first of all they're actually old, and second of all, I treated them like toys as a kid, which is one of the cardinal sins of gunpla. By the way, jury, if you're bringing me into the tribunal, I'll have to mention that to come clean, just so I can atone for my sins before I act as the judge for other people committing gunpla sins. Because as far as I've come now in the hobby, I'm by no means a saint. But that's what makes us human. We all make mistakes, even if they're grave. And we learn from them. Like how I got fined today for going on a bus lane. Which is absolute bollocks, because the road network's fine depending on the city you're in, but honestly the instructions were so unclear. I went into a bus lane without me knowing, and I got fined for that. Luckily that didn't affect any of my insurance or whatever, but getting fined is still not a bad it's still not a good feeling. And I guess now why I am completely like, that's not gonna work as a temporary measure. Now I'm handling my Zeta Gundam Revive. Nice. Shield, and now is the flag Jetstream. Nice. I repainted it and equipped with the further with the Wing Zero Hono. Nice. If you join the Discord in the link in the description, if it's there, then you can show me in stream dumps. People always forget how fast the first model of the Dom was. 381 kilometers an hour. I don't want the menu. I don't want the menu. I don't want it. What is it? Max speed. EFF pilots hated fighting these things. Heavily armored, fast attack, and big accurate guns. Yeah, I suppose so. Wait, does your angry avatar have the red anime cross near the head? Neat. Yes, it does when I'm speaking. Yes, it does. Wait, you got fined? That's a mistake then. Yeah, indeed. But the thing is, before I went into the bus lane, it was like to my right. It was to my right, and I had no idea that that was a bus lane because there were no prior warnings before the turn. That's why I'm so mad about them finding me for it. Granted, there is like concrete evidence I went there, but the fact that the instructions were so unclear before you turn into the bus lane, and that's how they trip you up, and that's how they nick the taxpayers' money just to pay for their own expenditures, which are absolutely bollocks. But I don't want to go into politics. I don't want to go into conspiracy. I'm just mad that I got fined for something that I didn't know, because I was driving in a city I didn't know where to drive in. But yeah. Anyways, funnily enough, the shoulder pads just attach on like that. And I really have no good solution for the backpack if I'm not to stick it in. Actually, if I could find actually find some photos of the AX Titania transformed and shown from behind, I can at least deduce what color the baskets are supposed to be. And even that's been proven as a fool's errand. Great. I'll just assume it's white then, I don't care. But yeah, clamp that down. How should they face? Actually. So I assume that the satellite cannons, because they're ball jointed at the base, I hope they still work. They go like that normally. And I fold it up. Yep, there we go. Waist mounted satellite cannons. Just try the other one. Rotate them up, rotate them sideways, extend them, and yep, there we go. There we go. So long as I fortify the old backpack joints, then I should be good to go. Now I know how it fires the satellite cannons. And I suspect that it does use sort of like either an internal battery or like a solar system, like yeah, something like the X-Mao to fire its twin satellite cannons. Okay, so to deploy them isn't exactly the hardest thing. I just need to fortify the joints. And okay, so these are these. I'll just plug them in like that. How long have I been streaming? I have no idea. I've been streaming for an hour, so we're making good time. So this would be the AX Titania in high grade form. Of course, the cannons are going to be trailing to the back, and I am waiting for some new paints in order to get these painted. Do a dedicated painting video as well, like the what is it? The Hyper Zeta Gundam Hono. Okay, I searched what you're trying to do here. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm still not skilled enough to do my own custom builds yet, but one day we'll get there. Show us your No! Banshee! Get your head out of the gutter. What if I should get out a double X since I have appreciation for Gundam X, but I don't know if it's good. Bogged down by certain factors. The only cheap thing, and that's to think about it. The only cheap thing about the high grade Gundam Double X is the V-fin. The crest is a sticker. That's about it. The rest of it, the articulation, it's like one of the progenitors of the all Gundam projects that followed in the Strike and the Wings footsteps. Has the same polycab, build standard, difficulty. The C-clips on the satellite panels are another thing you need to take care of, but so long as you work with it properly, then it should be fine. And that's about it, actually. That's about it. Well, the beam rifle has the beam rifle is covered in stickers, but that doesn't really matter anyway. But yeah, here is the AX Titania. So now they move him off. Don't forget the thruster. I'm actually gonna, yeah, like I said, do refinements, clean up, and of course paint off stream. Not unless I get like a cupboard, like a fume cupboard or something, a paint booth, an indoor paint booth, so I can actually do painting streams indoors. But yeah, that's the AX Titania done. I just added it on content sharing in the Discord. Hey! Oh my god, that looks absolutely fantastic. The wings are not as exuberant in mobile suit mode, but with the binders of the Brave, with the rifle of the Brave combined with the Hono shield, it actually, when it transforms, it looks absolutely fantastic. Also with the 2 linear rifles as well. My god, man, you're talented. I would introduce a little bit more color separation on the linear rifles, just to have a little bit of an accent. But overall, that's a fantastic job. And that being said, do you mind if I show it on stream? And I'll just back out of the Discord. The Enact release redesign. European, we like that Delta Wings. AEU Enact. Yeah, oh yeah, that thing. Ventilation is important. Yeah, that's why I always paint in the garage. If you're American. But yeah, I always paint in the garage. So I will have ample ventilation. Absolutely, there was this pretty old custom before my kid was born. Aww, that's nice. Did your kid being born affect your free time though? But anyways, now we move on to the husband of the group, the AX Oberon. So what we need from the bodies is what's left. So we have the double X's central mass minus the sabers, the Airmaster's head. Let me clear the area. The Airmaster's wings, and unfortunately the missiles have to be discarded, which is a pain in the bum because I think I glued in the holsters. Do I need to cut myself accidentally again? Or do I not? Because I think I might have sealed these in with heat glue, and yep, wherever they are, yep, heat glue. Because in the past I thought heat glue was like the be-all end-all of glues, but it turns out something like good old UHU super glue is far more efficient. And you can actually see, this is pretty funny to me. Where's the cap? This is actually pretty funny. You can see the aging of the plastic colors, because the central section was masked off from the years of wear, and the surrounding area is a little bit yellowed. Allegedly, it can be cleaned up with hydrogen peroxide, but at the moment, we're doing a custom project. I'm going to be painting over it. Hee hee. I love how British people say garage. Yep. What's your opinion on the gay rail? I think it looks much better than Grace. I really like the gay rail. In fact, at some point, I want to redo the review for it. Although, like I did say, I don't have the disposable income anymore because I'm saving for a car. However, if Bandai decides to... wait a second. I messed up my desktop layout. There we go, that's the group. If one day Bandai decides to release a twin pack of the Gayrail GS and Gayrail GP from Earth Hunt, I will definitely be reviewing them. Here we say garage. Yes, that's the initial one I learned until I moved to the UK. But yeah, we need the feet. Remove the missiles. And in all honesty, these may prove useful sometime down the line. So I'm gonna keep hold of these safely in a quote-unquote secure container. Class them as safe. And put them in a standard drawer in Site 19. And of course we have the Airmaster legs, which I think I completely mucked up. I think the detail should go inwards, not outwards, no? Anyway, easy fix. Swap these over. Swap the hips over. Wait a second, they were already going inwards and outwards. No, wait, Hiya, what did you do? What did you do in the old days that messed up this badly? Hiya. Anyways, crisis over. Have you ever reviewed the high grip bale before? Yes, but it was like when it came out, so it was very old. In any case, any build mistakes will be ironed out once we're done. But for the AX Oberon, we need an important ingredient. The MS Vernier number 2. And still no Garm Roadie. Bandai doesn't really like the good IBO grunts. I'm neither here nor there on the Garm Roadie, but they don't have a dedicated Roadie frame anyway, so I don't think they would even start. Will you re-review the High Greek Gundam Double X? Yes, I will. But yeah, this is our secret ingredient, MS Vernier 2. Which is a rather prevalent presence, like the MS Parts series in general for build fighters. Yep, and the instructions is on the leaflet itself. So I'm gonna put the bag to the side. And what is it doing here? Oh, I see. So you can connect even bigger thrusters onto the existing parts. Because if you guys didn't know, MS parts are made predominantly for 1 to 1/44 scale kits, the builder's parts. But apparently you can stick on like the 1 to 100 MS Mania 01 into the into this set, based on what I'm seeing anyway. And this is well, the Zaku's, the Lashan Zaku and the unidentified Zaku are not the first time Bandai is recommending glue to put the verniers on. Because actually, oh my god, that's a bit pretentious, isn't it? Like 3 parts for the thrusters themselves. Excuse me. What's up, everyone? Hey Renz, what are we building right now? And happy birthday. Currently we have finished off building the body of the AX Titania. And now I'm trying to understand the MS Vernier parts in order to build the AX Oberon. So those two designs are from Build Fighters Amazing Ready, the manga. And Control, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a lore in a bit, but I'm just trying to understand this. Because one set of these will have just enough parts to build the AX Oberon. And since these things are gonna be in the same color in the final build anyway, I think. Can you give me a back view for the Oberon? I'm thinking about the fact that an IRL Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is being opened in the mall in Jersey next year. Yep. Are they gonna pay off the hoaxes that Freddy Fazbear was real during the release of Five Nights at Freddy's? Okay, so the core units. Actually, let me just show you guys what I'm trying to look for. Save image as. Image blank. And where's the dump in the OBS? Stream dump, there it is. I don't need you, General Fortress, not now. There it is. Okay, I'm blind. So you guys can see where the backpack boosters are. LCS. Where's the dump? There it is. There it is. Under the layout, please. So the boosters are used in the back, in the backpack, and in the thighs, and of course the side skirts that got replaced. So the core units were so the base units are in the same Tiffany blue, mint green sort of color, so I can stick those together. Then I'll just have to keep the thrusters separate in order to paint them easily. And since they're ball jointed anyway with 3 separate parts each, I can easily do that. Let's shrink this back down. So about 9 years ago, yeah. You're much deeper into the IBO stuff. Any new infos on the Sierra? No. IBO Gecko has been abandoned. Please bring it back, Bandai, please. I need that conclusion to the story. In fact, it grinds my gears that IBO side stories never finish their stories. Yes, the manga's run is done, but their stories haven't been finished yet. Anyways. Let's actually just do the build for the MS Verniers for now. So is it worth getting the Plutine Core Gundam? If you have a means of fortifying the ball joints in the waist, or if you have replacement ball joints. Because funny enough, the ball joints I used on my final Plutine Gundam build are from the, what is it called? Are from the Chimeris Vidar. You know how high-grade Gundam frames only use like one polycap ball joint? Yes, that's why I have an extra. And the infamously loose ball joints of the IBO Gundam frame, they actually work far better than the Plutines. Well, granted, it is luck of the draw, honestly. So I may have just gotten lucky there. But if you have replacement ball joints, polycap ball joints, then go ahead, get the Plutine. If not, it's just going to be a hassle. And I wouldn't want to risk it. Because based on the reviews from me and Mekakai Kotsu, it's probably a common issue that the Plutine Gundam is going to loosen up immediately after it's built. This is the fact that IBO side content really don't finish their plate. Yeah, so that's the only problem? Yeah. Well, there is also the problem of the core armor is not staying on well, but honestly, if you face problems with the shoulder armor for the armor, just paint the indents on the shoulder black. Now add an extra little layer of thickness in order to keep the shoulder armor on. And for the core defensor for the Core Gundam 2, which is infamously loose, just put on a layer of super glue inside the hole and on the peg, and don't plug them in until it's fully set. Ah, so that's what they're trying to do. So one piece to connect the booster itself, and it's more like internal detailing. Nice. Although this would be very bad for people with big hands or butterfingers. But anyways, let's build all the boosters and then continue with the AX Oberon. IBO Stories has a lot of potential after their main series, and I'm sad that they did Earth Hunt dirty on the other side of content after it. Rins, that's why I'm doing a full recap video for Earth Hunt. And in fact, if you guys don't know and not weren't in my Discord, the audio for all the chapters of Earth Hunt have been recorded. So all that's left to do is to devote maybe at least 24 days worth of editing into finishing that video off. Because I am not, I'm definitely not doing that video in one sitting. And if I finish off a chapter, if I finish off editing a chapter, I'm just gonna leave it, because there's no way I'm watching it through but when I start editing the next chapter, if you know what I mean. Jesus Christ, 24 days, Lamau. I am not editing one, like, it depends, honestly. It could be 12, it could be 24, but I am not gonna be editing all of it in one. And because there's 24 episodes worth of stuff, I really don't want to do more than 2 at a time. I think if I come across, I might get it then, because I like dark themed suits. Yep, go for it then. I dip a layer of super glue for a layer of grit and thickness. Yeah. Still waiting for the Australia 2 rant. Nah, not gonna do that. That's cool though, and low-key looking forward to it. Thank you. Thank you. Because honestly, the movie did absolutely diddly squat to catch you guys up to the story. And the thing that really grinds my gears about the movie itself is that they skipped a lot, and I mean a lot, of the character development and world building. Like, this has been grinding my gears ever since I saw the movie, but when I started working on the script and watching the episodes through and translating every single last word, excuse me, I start, like my blood started to boil just because of it. Like, you're trying to condense 24 episodes worth of anime into 1 hour, and you cut out, like, fair enough, if you compromise on the character development and world building, it's not as big of a compromise or sin to do so than cutting out some of the most important plot points. And that's what's really pissing me off. The F91 treatment. Yup, indeed. Well, still, F91 is not a recap. F91 just got cut in the editor's floor before it got produced. Earth Hunt is literally just a series of those cutscenes, like those animated cutscenes. A6! Those animated cutscenes, and told through the lens of Colonel Kossa, the main guide that guides Postario through the Earth Hunt. And trust me, whenever I finish that full recap video, I'll be doing a rant on the movie, trust me, because there's so much I want to speak on it that just I feel done dirty as an IBO fan just because of that one movie. And granted, Wedge of Interposition was cool, but they messed up the timeline again. They pull... How did a bug get in? Anyways, so that's the small square booster. And I think those are the ones that are supposed to go onto the waist. Somehow. The best thing I can do is probably fill one of these slots up and then drill a hole into it. But I think that's a little bit overcomplicating things. Especially according to the Dengeki Hobby instructions. Because these are definitely not 3mm slots. But anyways, F91 broke Tomino. What IBO movie? So last year, at around this time, around this time, Bandai and Sunrise decided to compile all of the cutscenes from Iron-Blooded Orphans Earth Hunt, whose story was only told through the IBOG game that has since been shut down since, what is it, January 2024. So it has been shut down for a year. They promised a sequel movie and have some animated cutscenes, well, animated scenes from the continuation as in the trailer for that project. But since people need to catch up on it and have no way to revisit the story, they decided to release a movie called Iron-Blooded Orphans Earth Hunt: The Path of the Little Challenger, which is essentially a compilation movie of all of the animated cutscenes from the game, joined by a couple of like bridging new scenes that bridge each of the cutscenes. Just because a lot of the dialogue exchange happens in like an RPG Maker dialogue box with talking avatars and whatnot. So yeah, they did that, but decided to condense the movie down into an hour from 24 anime episodes and tell it through the lens of one of the main characters, which hasn't experienced everything that is told in the story. It's a very cheap cop-out as to tell the story in a more efficient way. And as a result, a lot of the major plot points were cut out because of it. Marcosi's RG went Bandai. Yeah, I don't know. They don't even have a real grade Barbatos yet. So, eat your heart out. Lol, somehow I got a turn next. Nice! Happy B-Day! Thank you, Atom Pedro. Thank you so much. Oh god, Earth Hunt. Earth Hunt wasn't bad. Let's be real. The main story of Earth Hunt wasn't bad until the very end. And I'm not gonna spoil it until I make the video, so just all I can say is stay tuned. It got hit by any visual novel curse of being adapted into anime. I miss Mufflove. But yeah, that's why I have such a big beef with Earth Hunt today. Hey MJ, in your Zeta Hono vid, you showcase that you have 2 full Honos, but you only use the extra parts and not the main sword. Will you be planning to use it for making other Hono kits? That's my response. But let's just say I have a date with Destiny when that arrives. When that time comes. Hey Lysergic, welcome in. Was IBO your first Gundam show? No. I told the story like multiple times before, but in case you're new here, my introduction into Gundam was through Gundam Age. Just me walking into my brother, seeing it on the telly. And we watched like the last 2 episodes of Gundam Age together while it was on the television. And I was hooked from then. I didn't think much about it, but I thought the anime was cool. Yeah, I know. If you have like strong opinions against Gundam Age, then it may be an unfortunate way to get introduced. But the thing that really sparked my passion was when my dad bought the high grade H2 normal in place of the high grade HFX for my brother and him to build, and then I just joined in at some point. So I joined in, the 3 of us built the kit together. Of course it got wrecked because children. we were children. But I got hooked ever since. And I didn't really feel much for both Fighters and Tri at the time, and especially not G-Reco because it wasn't widely available at the time. So when Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans came around, and it was like, I think airing on YouTube, like being simulcast to YouTube in specific regions, especially Japan, then yeah. And especially because, like, I don't know why I felt like such an affinity towards the Gundam Barbatos. But from then on, IBO became like part of my identity. And even in that time, I already was doing gunpla content for a little bit. Oh man, I need to rewatch Age. When was the original Gundam? 79. 1979. I meant mine was the original Gundam. Ah. That series was a fever dream for me. That's so cool. Oddly enough, what got me to the series was CNC Destiny and Gunpla Hobby was the Build series. Yo, Dan, what's up? Hey, Mecha Burst, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. What's your favorite Gundam? Do I even need to answer that question? Have you seen my profile photo? But yeah, seriously, my favorite Gundam is the Barbatos Lupus. Just for its very cool design and savage fight style. There's a certain appeal in the IBO's Gundam frame. Like, every custom can be your own. Insert Ars Goetia Gunpla. Yeah, and that's kind of like one of my ideas that I have for a fully custom Gunpla. Because the Ars Goetia doesn't only include the 72 demons. Because King Solomon aside, there are 4 more demons that haven't been introduced that are outside of the 72, and those are the 4 cardinal kings, and they're called Zeminia, Amaimon, Zeminiar, Cordon, and Gop. I forgot which one governs over which direction, but they govern over the 4 cardinal directions and are a tier higher in the hierarchy, so they're a tier above the 72 demons, and then they report to Solomon. And according to the scriptures, they should never be summoned unless it's like an emergency, like maybe the end of the world. Then you can summon them in to do whatever. I don't know. There's very little documentation on the 4 cardinal kings. I started with Gundam Wing in 2003. It was the first Gundam show to be on German TV. Ah, so Gundam Wing wasn't just a push to America then. Do you have the RG Wing Zero TV? EW? Yes, I do. And I've done a review on it. In the old times. So, yeah. I have mixed feelings about whether or not I want to redo a video on it. Just because I don't want to suffer through yet another old real grade. My camera is starting to overheat, and that is not good. And there's like at least 5 moths outside my window, so I couldn't afford to open up my window just to let anything cool down in here. I'm in a bit of a pinch, actually. I'm an American OG Wing fan for me, and I love Gundam 00. Nice! Nice, nice, nice. Gundam Paimon Wen Bandai. They're saving it for emergencies. Oh look, a 6th one has joined me. Thank you. Yeah, to me, it was like a Decepticon. I got into Gundam 00 when I was a kid, when Season 2 was airing in the Philippines. It was episode 23, third of the last episodes. Years later, I got fully hooked by watching the final episode of Build Fighters. Nice! Getting hooked with Build Fighters, that's based. That's actually kind of sick lore. Imagine if the Cardinal King Gundam frames are the Psycho Gundam equivalent of the Calamity War, with Lost and or Forbidden Alley of Inyanotech. Maybe in a headcanon, sure. But because there were literally only 72 Gundam frames, that couldn't have happened. I tried rewatching Wing 2 years ago, but the writing is bad. Hey John Taro, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. They won't be making the rest of the 72 frames. They will shoehorn mobile suits like how they shoehorn Marcosius into the 7 stars. I wouldn't be so cynical, but it's hard for me to deny that. We need more giant Gundams like the Destroy. Not for me personally, but if that's your thing, then who am I to judge? Hello, Styrax Twin Blade. Welcome in. Can you display the new Vercod with the action-based one? Yes, you can. I mean, I don't own it, but the action-based one is made for larger kits like master grades or bigger high grades. And the action-based one has screws. It's very stable. Although it is a bit of a pain to have to balance coordinate 2 arms, and there's no like centralized option for the display. But yes, action-based ones are made for kits of that scale and of that heft. Yeah, true. Marcosius is a sudden shoehorn to the 7 stars. Is lol. By the way. Well, I'll get to it after I finish building my boosters. Because if you guys haven't seen my second JP Fans unboxing, you guys won't have known that I got the Metal Robot Damashi Gundam Marcosius to review as the 20,000 subscriber special review. Only because I hate the lore so much. And spoiler alert, there's no explanation. There's no added lore, no explanation of why it belongs to the Baklazan family. So all we can really hope for is for me to not lose this piece of the booster. But also for Sunrise and the writers of the Earth Hunt continuation to not muck it up. But anyways, that's all the boosters done. And here is the figure. It is absolutely beautiful. I honestly love the sculpting. It looks more menacing, even though the face is still the typical Naohiro Ashiro dodgy design. Dodgy-ish design. That still looks pretty good. The die-cast frame looks very nice. The accents on the frame, the greenish gold on the waist and the red on the forearms, they look nice. All the details are painted. The decal use is minimal, which I do absolutely love, because this thing is complicated enough already. It doesn't need extra embellishments to make it look more like more complex. Here are the wings. The yellows are all replaced with the gold, which is very nice. The rest of the kit, well, the rest of the figure, if it isn't for the die-cast frame and the metallic frame, they're all matte treated. The gimmicks all work right out of the box, except you need to flip the knives upside down. The railguns work. And the cloak, as much as I hate the logo for its lore implications, actually made with real cloth that has a wire underneath, so you can pull it off, like pull off any dynamic displays that you actually want, and it's jointed with a ball joint inside. And of course, thanks to the production values, you can mount it onto the right side as well, which is very nice. Eventually I'll be reviewing this because I have, what is it now, 2 and including the Leopard 3 kits that I want to review before this, but I promise I will get to this as soon as I can. Since this thing needs no painting, it just needs recording, posing, put it all together in the edit, and just ship it. But yeah, anyways. Hello there. Hey, it's Lucas. Welcome in. Quick and dry Marcosius review live, lol. Nah. Nah, well, I literally, that's what I did, yeah. I'm glad you said leopard right. Leopard sounds like a sickness. It's German, actually. Unexpectedly, that is German. Because I literally just watched the video that Kakarot197 made on the Gundam Leopard. And I asked my my friend who can speak fluent German to give me some pointers. Okay, step 1 for the Oberon. I just need to slice off the ridge on the polycap, which isn't anywhere near as risky as I would imagine. Boo-hoo. Oh, wait. So I don't just slice off the ridge. Wait a second. Ah, yep. So completely slice off the ridge, if it'll focus, and clean it up at the bottom. And apparently, you attach it backwards, back into the double X's chest. I don't know what purpose this serves, but once I get my double X back out, just break it free, then I'll know. And of course, well, I need to make a new trigger finger hand for the double X, because the one that came with the kit was like lost in the pile, and I couldn't be bothered to go ahead and find it. So I'm just gonna make one out of the small builder's hands and fill up whatever details, just make it completely flush for the hand covers, and all will be fine. Cloth on gunpla will always be go hard. Yep. Next year is the 20th anniversary. Do you think Bangkok 00 of Full Mechanics Reborn's Gundam? No. Seriously not. Yeah, Marcosius looks amazing. Say, did you know the Gundam Zera Shield is basically a Blitzwing Gundam, a triple changer with tank and jet modes? Yes, I do. Yes, I do, actually. And I do plan to redo that review. I say that I planned to do the review since my dorm days, but I never got around to it. I love Marcosius. I love Bale, but Marcosius looks like Bale on steroids. Yep. And what happened with the Hachinoboshi 3rd form from the poster? Just gone to the wind, I think. Just gone to the wind. They ended the movie on a cliffhanger, so hopefully they'll continue the story on. But if they don't, I'll be really yeah. Something unmentionable on stream. Anyways, sorry for getting this started, but happy birthday, MJ. Thank you so much, L39. I asked about the double X because I saw it stacked in UK Gundam base a while ago and I was tempted to go get it. Oh, you're from the UK too? Nice! Still, I have yet to go to the UK Gundam base, but I'm planning a trip. I'm planning a trip to go to like the Gundam hotspots in the UK, so I may want to, assuming that I may be able to podcast Stanmore, I'll probably go to Camden, go to the Gundam base first because that's easier, and then go to Rivals Corner, have a meal somewhere. Maybe there's a pho restaurant in like near Canada Water, And there's also Uncle Roger's restaurant. I don't know if it's probably in the arse end of London. So, and London is massive. Like, it's so massive that a trip around the top rim of the city will take you over an hour to drive. So, depends on what's nearest, I suppose. And I really don't want to default to fast food because I'm getting quite sick of it. I love the Reborn's design. For the 20th anniversary, we're going to 00 Celestial being Gundams as RG. And hopefully, never use the real Great XCF frame again. Never. Hey MJ, let me know if you need any help. I'm happy to lend a hand. Thank you, Scarlet. Oh, the Gundam base pop-up here is ending in 10 days. I need to visit there again and grab another kit. If you don't mind my asking, where is here exactly? Excuse me. Okay, next step. So we have the big angular thrusters. Just stick them together. That's the backpack. Actually, let me just do that right here and now. Because I know these are never going to come apart in the build. Okay, so line them up. Hopefully not get my hands full of glue. And here we go. The thing about Loctite, not sponsored, is that it pretty much acts instantly. So I don't need to hold the parts together for like 20 minutes before I move on to the other parts. And then I get betrayed. But anyways, here we go. So just clamp that shut. And then you need to grab the smaller round ones and then stick them on somewhere here, I presume. The bottom needs to line up with the top edge of the big thruster housing. So the bars need to line up there and have it stick up. Right, fair enough. Oh, Gundam base pop-up here in Philippines. Ah, I see. Please, the RGX 2.0 are not... Well, Protostar, I hate to break it to you, but with how much they've milked the XCM mold already, I highly doubt they're gonna do a 2.0 for that frame. It's just no chance. They're gonna lose out on what they've made on otherwise. Right, so the bar lines up with the ridge, the edge right there, and I can use the surface detail to keep it centered. It's really hard to do this on camera while concentrating at the same time, but here it is. Just nudge it, adjust it, and I think we're there. The thruster is a bit crooked, but it's ball jointed, so it doesn't matter. And do the same for the other, line it up, and we'll be golden. There it is, the AX Oberon's backpack. And I am thinking of nicking a leftover backpack and just putting their panel here. Because this is still the double X after all, so I can just nick a panel and just put the backpack on like that instead of just sticking it on like using glue and whatnot. I'm gonna start making dinner. Have a good stream and happy birthday. Thank you, Galavant's Works. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wrong expression there. What are you using to glue them? Well, super glue from Loctite. I know the best thing to do is to use plastic cement and just cement them in place, but I have no such patience today. I'm really tired. And by the time I come to paint it, I can just remove the thrusters themselves anyway, because the block itself is in the same color. Why no one in New York or California is the obvious choice? The two new Gundam base in the UK in the US is a weird location. Where is it again? Chicago. I have no recollection. And I need to glue the central bits again. Yay! Nah, using super glue is okay. Mainly use super glue in most of my customs. Yep, okay, what's next? After this, I'll just let it set. Use the desk as a leveler. I think that's all the gluing I need to do. I think. Wait a second. Wait a second. That would have been catastrophic. Apparently the second photo says that I just need to line up the top. Right, so before that sets, let's just redo that. And I'll need to sand the sides down to attach the wings. Right, I'll get to that then. I'll actually do all the other steps first, so that the glue can set properly before I do the wings. That would have been much easier. I'm gonna hop off. Hopefully I get to be able to rejoin. Happy birthday, MJ. Thank you. Give me a sec. What early real grade would you want a 2.0 of? Personally, I want to see Shenanja redone. Happy birthday, though. Thank you, Max Bolton. And yes, the real grade Shenanju deserves a 2.0. On top of that, I want to see them tackle the real grade Zeta again. Now that they have the idea of using actually bespoke parts for the frame, so they can tailor it with all their technology and engineering prowess for the transformation mechanism. Right, there we go. I'm just gonna let the glue set. Hopefully it sets properly. I'll sand the things down later. But next thing is the wings. So the wings, mostly just this main part. The red is off and goes in here. Don't need masking tape or anything. But the major crux of the issue is here. I never noticed that the actual dimensions work. The thing is, I just need to slice some of that peg. Where's my marker? There it is. I just need to slice some of that peg and then slice off this end of it. And I'll definitely need to use some masking to do it because it's in two-tone. It is in white and gold. Looking at you, the infamous... At least the Seattle one is in the West Coast and probably cheaper than something in California. Wouldn't be surprised. Granted, I've never been to America, and I don't think I ever will want to be in America. But California is basically just the American version of London, isn't it? Like, everything is overpriced there. It's only the rich people that can afford to live there. All that jazz. I find it funny that the Real Great Akatsuki fix that Bandai did just copies a excuse me, third-party solution. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the 107 parts uses similar philosophy. Actually, I don't think, like, the instructions on Dengeki Hobby are telling me to just slice the pegs into a specific shape. But I don't think I even need to do that. Just leave a bit of flash on there. There we go. That's the wing. And now to do the same for the other. And then what I need to do after that is to attach this assembly onto this assembly. Allegedly. I'm a little bit apprehensive because the wings cross into the boosters and I don't know if that's what I want. And apparently it is. So the wings will taper inwards and basically come together and obscure the boosters. But the idea... my idea is basically that I skip all of the drilling and bother, just line the backpack up and just glue these in place after I'm done. After I'm done with painting them. So that may probably be how I approach that. But still, the crux of the issue is that I will need to paint the gold separately. Then again, what is this wing piece though? Okay, so I can just take this off, mask it off, paint it in gold, and attach it back on. Good. At least there's that option. Okay, so let's just mod the other wing and then move on to the next step. I thought that broke for a second. Jeez. They're going to have a Gundam base in Seattle, Washington, and Minneapolis. Minneapolis, MN, along with the Chicago one in the US. So they're gonna spread around the USA, I guess. And the third party fix is cheaper. Yep, indeed. Indeed. That's what's so infuriating about it. Anyways. Let's just mod the wing. MN is just an abbreviation of Minnesota. Ah, I see. The more you know. Now, because I'm not from the US, I don't know all 50 states? Is it 50? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it 50? Yeah, there we go. And, yeah, so a lot of the basic knowledge of, like, how coins work in the US, I don't know any of that. Okay, so let's see if this temporary solution could work to keep these on. And yes, the underside of the wing is just gonna stick through in the final build. How is this booster still off? We have 50 states and some territories. And ironically, my favorite gunpla reviewer. Happy birthday, MJ. Thank you. ST Stop Wonder 3. How should I address you? I think you may need more super glue, lol. Yeah, I think I do. Although, the main thing, like, I'm a perfectionist, and that has been pretty evident through my reviews. And I really couldn't stand when something is like off center. At least I'm doing this now instead of after painting it. Because that would not be nice. But yeah, the things that I'm doing on this stream is more or less the gist of how the build comes together. And how a custom build comes together. Yep, I'm settling. And if anything, those inner wings should keep everything together. Yep, that's the benefits of using pegs. But at the moment, that's off. It's off. It's off. It's off. I just want a proof of concept. I don't want to commit to anything yet because I still need to paint them. Right, so that's the backpack for the AX Oberon. Set that set for now. What's the next MGIBO release you want to get? You want to have released? Not sure if I'm honest. Okay, what are they saying here? But maybe a master grade Gundam Bale? Because that would be cool. I'm sorry, I need to pull out translate in order to get a better idea of what I'm supposed to do. Ah. So basically thicken the poly caps with masking tape, of which I have none. Huh. Give me a second. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. So, even though I don't have Tamiya masking tape, I do have traditional masking tape. So you can probably use that. And what did it say about a gap? Insert the poly parts of the side armor into the gap. So, right. What they're saying is basically thicken up the entire polycap using masking tape. Is there any better way of doing this? And just stick... Excuse me, sorry for knocking the mic. Just stick these boosters in. Stick the top slot of them in. Okay. Whoa, that's magical. That's actually magical. Seriously. Like a little bit of masking tape with some improper use can thicken up a polycap so much it can accommodate this without problem. Gee. That's quite interesting actually. Let me get to the other one then. I mean, I think I know this technique exists, but I never really put it into practical use. Top slot. There we go. And, well, polycaps being polycap tape. I wonder if masking tape tightens the other joints like that too. Actually, it does. Like, there's a whole kit, like a whole masking tape kit, where you can use it to thicken your joints. Like, that's something that Joe's Gunpla Garage used to try and fix the real Great Akatsuki. Let me trim the tape. So that it's not completely getting in the way. But yeah, that's actually magical. Maybe I can grab a real Great Akatsuki and fix it that way. Temporarily. Temporarily, yes. 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 Can noises, they come out of my mouth. Yeah, I need a drink. Cheers. Cheers to Tango. Wait, it's your birthday today too? Happy birthday for us both. Hey! We share a birthday, Pepperhead. I got the high grade Master Gundam and Zelda TOTK Masterworks book. Ah, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting my expressions. But yeah, that's very nice. Most of the tips I saw are either only using super glue or super glue with tissue paper to thicken ball joints. Basically, yeah. But using masking tape like this, I never thought it would have such like a drastic effect. And what is this about cutting the legs up?エアマスターのスネクロマジマッチングの部分 What the fuck? What? Wait a minute. Did I confuse the legs? Am I supposed to be using the... Eh? Eh? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I'm supposed to use the double X's thighs on Oberon, and the contrary for Titania. I never knew. Right, so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just completely swap the legs between the two. Okay, so something about sanding down the joint part of the legs back here. And something about trimming the thighs, the thigh armor, to give more room for some sort of articulation. Still not too sure what that is yet, but at least now I know. I'll show you guys the diagrams in a bit, because they didn't even say to like swap the thighs between the two Gundams. Like, well, based on the diagrams anyway. Okay, Titania. I love you, but keep your back skirt on. Okay, back on track. Hi, I'm back. Hey, Dad Cat, welcome back. I tried the paint method on tightening parts, but it really didn't work unless I needed multiple coats of it. I only did like 2 layers. Wasn't enough for my double or riser hips. Which one? Which one? Honestly, for the real good, Akatsuki is away from a vendor visit Japan next year to get me the Gundam based kit if they could find it. Otherwise, I'm not exactly crazy for it. Good attitude. Because it's not worth paying as much as they're asking for the upgrade. Okay. Okay, I get it now. So, let me grab my pen. So basically they want us to cut the armor so that it directly slants downwards like that. Well, I got some easy points of reference. That should be easily doable without sweating bullets while doing it. And I can probably just do it like that. And where is that point? There it is. For the first time in forever, I'm holding nippers the proper way. Hey, Xenosist! Thank you for the $20 donation. Happy birthday, MJ. Have a good stream. Thank you! Thank you so much. What are we up to, dudes? Hey, Forklift. Now, currently, I am building the AX Oberon from Build Fighters Amazing Ready. And I'm trying to screw it. I'm doing it off camera. Because I literally couldn't see when my arms reaching out like that. But yeah, allegedly that's the mod. Just to slice off a corner of the double X's thighs. And yet literally this is what goes on in a Build Fighters. Oh my god, really? Really? Wait, that is the double axis joint. Wait a second. Is that what they mean? Ah, I see. I see. So I have to sand away a little bit of the inside of the knee armor just so the double axis joints can fit. Ah, I see. Are you following a tutorial or are you going freestyle? But the majority of the steps are from a tutorial that is publicly available on Dengeki Hobby. But some of it, when I just decided I couldn't be bothered, I just go freestyle. Okay, so I'm just gonna modify the other thigh joints. Be right back. Because I really don't want to be reaching across the desk just to do it. But there we go. That's the joint armor done. So all we need to do is to sand away a little bit of the inside to widen it so that the double X joint can fit. Ah, I see. Happy birthday to MG2 and happy Sunday to everyone. Thank you, Cheek. Cheek, thank you. What's happening? Yesterday I built the high grade Barbatos. Not a bad build. Not a bad build. What's happening? I'm building the AX Oberon from Gundam Build Fighters Amazing Ready. And now I need to sand away a little bit of the inside of the Airmaster's leg so that the double axis knee joints can fit without any hassle. You can call me Cheeky lol. I can call you Cheeky. I'm cheeky too. I finished panel lining on my Zeta Gundam Revive. Nice. Sweet dude, I have no idea they had tutorials for custom. I might need to look into that. Happy birthday as well, dude. Thank you, Forklift. And I have no idea how far down I need to sand these, or how far down the joint needs to reach. Let me actually get an analog. I don't think there's any left or right distinction for the double axis thighs. Yes, I don't think so. So I'm just gonna place the polycap back in, place that back in. I think it may still need a little more give. But if the joints can... No. It will produce a little more give if I bend it enough. So, yeah, interesting. It's good to know then. Not much needs to be done to modify these legs. Yeah, I tried doing the paint method on my real grade 00 riser. Ended up doing the 107 toys method, yeah. Oh, by the way, MJ, have you seen the Meteor unit mental build? What do you think of the monstrosity, lol? Ugh. It's not that I hate the Meteor unit, but only, like, crazy people would be willing to invest in one of those. Like, metal build in and of itself is, like, what? 1/100 scale? And to invest in a 1/100 scale mobile armor that can generate swords like twice the length of the mobile suit. Yeah, I mean, good luck with that. Like, is the high grade Dendrobium and metal build GN arms not enough? Like, all I can say is, if you have the willpower to actually buy one of those and have the space to display it, then all power to you. I thought it would be enough. I thought it would be enough, but it is enough to close the joint. Yep, as I expected. So, someplace, I think the right side has to give a little more in order for the joints to close properly. But yeah, at the moment it's just a little bit of sanding. And by the way, I will post the links to the guides in the chat in a bit. I just want to get this done. Is there really no other better way to because these sticks are the mini sticks and they still don't have enough clearance around these joints. Yeah. No, I think the left side needs a little more give. Based on what I'm seeing here. I don't know anymore. Like, I genuinely don't know. Now that I remember, in Bill for the Stride, you might have a custom of the Airmaster in the flashbacks, right? Yes. And it has been reproduced in like in one of the magazine articles. Ah, screw it. I'm just gonna do it the easy way. Got plans on making AX Titania in the future? Speaking of, I actually did. But yeah, I just need some concentration at the moment. I'm sorry I'm silent, guys. You know, just cleaving through it with a knife. With enough precision, you can slice off some clean and thin layers of plastic. Like that. But, of course, don't cut towards yourself, otherwise you get injured. And that's not what I want. That's the reason why I'm going to do it off screen. And buff it out, finish it off with the sanding stick. Yeah, see, this is what it really takes to do one of these builds. And I mean, the Hyper Zeta Gundam Hono itself wasn't even that hard. Now it's closing properly. Put the kneecap back on. There still needs to be a little bit of give, but it's far smoother now. Now that I actually sliced off some of the sides. What do I need to do on the feet again? Nothing. And then I'll just need to cut off the fin around the back and glue the other boosters back, the remaining boosters on. Good. DX leg for not fitting into the Air Master's leg? Yeah, no. That's the reason they tell you to sand a little bit of the inside. And if anything, I'm probably just gonna close this with a little bit of plastic cement. Happy birthday, MJ. Thank you, Silent Nova. Thank you. Hope the build goes well and good to stay hydrated in this UK heat. Yep. Indeed. Indeed, indeed, indeed. So, let me actually just cut this wing off. And I wouldn't need to buff it out because this thing is just going to sit right on top of it. So, yeah, just like that. The dimensions actually work perfectly for some reason. And it's uncanny. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is... grab a strip of masking tape. Just like the guide. And it's barely enough, but that'll do. Where's the other foot? So that's gonna be proof of concept mode. And stick that on. I'll have to do the same for the other leg, which is a problem. Not that I don't have time, but I'll need to leave you guys in another void of silence before that's able to be achieved. Actually, let me just close this up. And since there's really no, like, surface area on the back... What to do? Maybe I can just use another wad of blue tack to just temporarily stick them all together, because I don't want to mummify this kit in order to prove a point. Yeah, it's a custom build. I do wonder, I looked at the AX Oberon and AX Titania. There's a model image, but no release kit. Yeah, because it is indeed a custom build. A custom build that a master builder in the scene has replicated. Alright. Alright, blue tack works. Blue tack works just fine. The backpack is light enough for that. Great. Okay, so... pardon me. Since I'll need to modify the other leg. Sorry for the bad accent. But I'll need to modify the other leg in order to complete the custom build. So, may not be chatting much, but yeah, do you do many kit bashing customs like this? No, I don't. I used to, and it was still a pretty cringy concept now that I think about it. But whenever I do custom builds, I either want to replicate something from like a series, or... where's my part separator? Up behind me. or just do like kit variants that Bandai was not, like, they aren't willing to do. Can't go wrong with blue tack though. Actually, just pry it open here. There goes one of them joints. If the central joint for that square breaks, it doesn't matter because it will be held in by the knee carb armor anyway. And time to go to work. Off screen. Because this will require precision and caution. Actually, I'm gonna try doing it here. And hopefully not reveal my head. And I'll do the top with sanding sticks, just to be on the safe side. Because I can easily access this. I like doing impressions of things that are like canon enough. I wish you success in such a feat. Is that an intentional pun? Such as repainting or slightly modifying it to fit in with Zeta or double Zeta. Nice. So hopefully that will be enough. It's imprecise, but it feels like you need to sand off a lot before you're able to plop the double X joints into the other joint. Something is not lined up. That's great, actually. I may have trimmed off a little bit too much on the bottom, but hey, if it works, it works. Just gonna fill that in with putty. Actually, no, I don't think I need to fill it in, because this will cover it up. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Imprecisions be damned. Because I can just basically put a band-aid over it and forget about it. Just like how the NHS runs things, yeah? Or any healthcare system for that matter. Put a band-aid on and forget about it. And yep, there we go. Oh! Well, my camera died. My camera actually died. I thought plugging it in would keep it charged, but apparently not. Nah, it's not over. It's not over. Give me a sec. Just give me a sec. There we go. We're back. Right as I put on the other leg. Either way, here we have... Wait a minute. No wonder the profile isn't right. That's because these back wings should be flared out like that. Either way, it doesn't change the position of the other wings. And I'm not committing to anything until I paint it, but... this is gonna be a pain in the ass. But here we go. This is the AX Oberon. So yeah, this would basically do it. So from the records, I built the Titania in about an hour, and the Oberon in about 1 hour 35 minutes. So all that's left to do is to actually go ahead and actually paint them. But in their kind of mishmashed proof of concept forms, they do actually look pretty good. But yeah, even still, there is still a lot to be done besides painting. Since these guys are over 10 years old, I'll need to fortify the joints, commit to the actual modifications, and figure out all the masking and color mixing. So yeah, and also let me actually show you guys this with the photos. Actually, there is a dump, stream dump. There we go. There we go. They actually have these markings all over their bodies, which apparently the builder says is made with nail stickers. So they've actually commandeered yet another thing from Nail Beauty, making manicures, into something that works for gunpla. But since finding the exact pattern is nigh on impossible, I just thought to myself, what if making my own stickers is actually possible? And turns out, a couple of the people that I've asked has made their own water decals for it. And let me actually see. Because somebody, aka Chikutori, needed to calibrate their setup. Oh, that's a PSD folder, not what I want. They needed to calibrate their painting setup back then. So I'm hyping this up for no reason. Where the heck is it? Oh, it's in downloads. They've made me... Actually, let me... No, that doesn't help. They've made me the pattern. So if you can see from the from where the instructions are, they've made me the pattern. So I can actually buy some water decal sheets and actually print these myself. There. Heyo. Hey Johnny. Oh dang, did I miss the entire thing? Yeah, you kinda did. So there's the long one. And here's the short one. So I can customize these before I print them off however I like. And that's one of the most impossible tasks alleviated. Because thank God I can I have someone I can ask to do these patterns and I can customize them myself. And there's a way to print them off. So yeah, that's one of the tougher parts done. But anyways, that's basically gonna wrap it up for the stream. Oh, it was the same image I'm looking at in the Gundam Wiki lol. Yep. Wait, is that other MS a joke, or does it seriously have an Airmaster Gundam DX and a Gundam DX Airmaster? Yes, that's basically the idea for the AX Oberon and AX Titania. And before I go, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a lore dump, because these guys are controlled by Princess. And if you don't know who Princess is in Amazing Ready, she's the daughter of Carlos Kaiser. Now, if you've only watched the Build Fighters animated series, you wouldn't know who Carlos Kaiser is, because he's barely appeared in the anime due to his big mobile armor being defeated by the Cubile Papillon. But long story short, he was the world champion and former Finnish representative in the Gunpla Battle World Tournament. So his daughter initially had the Clanch Asta, which I'm gonna look up because I really want to show you guys. And somebody needs to make me like a room asset. I need like just a room. But anyways, save the image and save the image. Not copy the image, save the image. So this is not spoilers, by the way. The whole well, Princess's room basically has like an entire battle system installed in her floors, so that she can create like have Gunpla come to life in a non-battle situation. And initially, she has the Clanch Asta, which, if you guys cannot tell, it's basically a Clanch from Gundam Age with custom armor parts. And of course, Dengeki Hobby got builders to build that as well. And its alt mode is the more interesting part, because Princess being Princess wanted to go for a cute vibe and went for this as the alt mode, not these layout. Damn it. Anyway, so she went for this, basically a mini parrot as the alt mode. And the wiki also has a panel that shows the Clanch Asta and the two amazing Rev units playing together as the birds that they are, which is adorable if I'm honest. Yeah, turn the Clanch into Burb. Yep, Burb Gundam. Yeah, that's actually kind of cute. So, with the long-ish introduction on Princess over, now you know who she is. She's the daughter of the former world champion. And the AX Oberon and AX Titania succeeded the Clanch Asta, and she piloted both of these at the same time. And I'm not gonna spoil much more of like the important plot points of Amazing Ready, but if you want to see the insanity of it and how this actually makes sense, just read the manga. So Princess piloted these two against the Lunar Gazer in, I think, not an official match. It's more like a play match against a young lady Kawaguchi. So yeah, it's basically a 2v1. And later on, I think they had one match in the 8th World Tournament, as far as I recall, but I'm not too sure. I'm very confident that the Oberon and Titania appeared in 2 fights, and then they got internally upgraded into the AX Oberon Asta and AX Titania Asta. So it's mostly internal upgrades. And she also introduced a new machine into the roster, which is a Mac knife. And if I can actually find that image that no, actually, I'll do this. I'll do you one better. Found the book. Found a chapter. Yeah, so there are 2. Yep. So here it is. The Oberon Asta, Titania Asta, and the Mac Knife against the Lunar Gazer Full Moon. I'm not going to go into detail on the full moon, just because I want to get into that in their dedicated video. But the craziest thing that Princess did was use a Mac knife as an actual bow, which, I mean, this is only scratching the surface of how insane Build Fighters Amazing is. Like, my god, G-Reco only just got introduced at around that time, and they already managed to make a joke out of it. Like, it's ridiculous. But anyways, I am looking forward to actually finishing these two kits, and by the time the paint arrives, of course. But yeah, that's the Machbo. Yeah, I do actually have the manga. I have the full series. I need the Clanch Asta as an actual kit. Hello, I just woke up. Hey George, I'm sorry, but you missed all the action. Yeah, Machbo. Birdie from Sea could never. They need to make AR into an OVA now. I need to see this, lol. Yeah, they really do. They really do. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for the stream, now that the 2 bodies are done. And again, by the time the next rotation of weeks come around, I'll try to commit to the new streaming schedule. If you want more details, just stay tuned in my community page, and I guess look forward to more future content. So thank you all so much for hopping in. Thank you all so much for the birthday wishes. Like, it didn't matter how many of you guys were here, it just mattered that you guys participated. But yeah, thank you all for celebrating the occasion with me. Thank you all so much for the support, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.